Hello, beautiful being. I am here in my new space, in my new house, and I felt called to record a little video for y'all. And what came through to call this video is the alignment experiment. Talk about my alignment experiment that I'm obviously basing off of the surrender experiment. And this alignment experiment is coming from a place of me not wanting to set financial or even really any goals in 2023. And I'll explain why this is and what I'm going to do instead. So I was looking at last year's journal, the journal that I wrote in this time last year in 2021, and wrote out my intentions, my word, and my focus for 2022. And that word was wealth. And in my journal, I wrote all about, and by the way, it is December 29th, 2022. So December 29th of 2021, I wrote how in 22, I would experience so much wealth. I would expand my real estate portfolio. I would grow my investments and start investing monthly into long-term investments, and I would have a $250,000 year in my business. And those things did not happen. In some ways they did, but not in the ways that I thought. For example, my real estate portfolio, without even having my van listed as available to rent, it was on Outdoorsy, but it wasn't listed as available to rent. Without even having it listed as available, someone reached out and rented it. And I got $200 a night to rent out my van, which is more than a lot of people can get for a room in their house or a section of their house. So that was pretty cool. And that was after Outdoorsy took their chunk of it. And so that would mean that my real estate portfolio did expand. My mobile real estate portfolio grew, which is not how I was expecting it to grow or even thinking that it would grow, right? My little tiny limited mind in 2021 had no clue about all the different ways that I could expand my real estate portfolio in 22. And when I read that journal entry, looking back at what my expectations were for wealth growing in my life, it's funny to then go to halfway through the year. I went to a live event in San Diego, California with Victoria Washington, and it was called Holy Yes. And it was all about growing your wealth legacy, connecting to your wealth legacy. And through that event, I realized my wealth legacy has nothing to do with investments, has nothing to do with real estate, has nothing to do with how much money I have or receive or how much is in retirement or any of that. None of that had anything to do with my wealth legacy. And my wealth legacy was returning us all to our roots, returning us all to nature, returning us all to the ultimate abundance, which is the earth that can literally birth food out of it again and again and again and again and again for us. Now, that is the ultimate form of wealth to me. And that was what wealth meant to my ancestors before they were captured and sent to America on slave ships. And it was during that live event that I realized how much of the white man's version of wealth I have been trying to fit into. I've been trying to squeeze my huge, expansive goddess self into this tiny little white supremacist, patriarchal, capitalistic paradigm. And it's hilarious to me to look back a year in the past and think that that's what I wanted, when really what I now know deep down is what I want. My definition of wealth embodiment, my wealth legacy, is being close to nature. And I am now living on a house on a river, literally in my backyard. I can't get any closer to nature. I can't get any closer to the veins of our Earth Mother. It's literally in my backyard. And when I think about all the other ways that wealth has shown up for me this year, it makes me want to do nothing but live in alignment with it. It makes me want to do nothing but surrender to how big wealth can actually be and look like and feel like in my body in the coming year. So that brings me to why I'm not setting any sort of goals in 23. My words for 23 are expand, divine, trust. Expand, divine, trust. Expand, divine, trust. Expand how much I trust the divine, expand myself to realize that I'm way bigger than this body and not identify with these constraints any longer. Divine, remembering that all of this is a field of energy vibrating, and what we see is really a reflection of our conditioning and our beliefs, and what we experience is a reflection of our conditions and our belief, and what we really truly are at our core is divine. Everything else is a lie. Everything else is a layer. Everything else is something we took on as a child to feel like we could, to feel because we felt like we needed it, to feel safe, to feel loved, to be appreciated, to live in this community. And so now every morning when I wake up in a house that I did nothing to manifest except for being, when I was living by the beach, being served dinner by my precious in-laws, when I was taking care of myself, licking my wounds, shedding all the parts of my business that didn't serve me and that didn't work and that I didn't like and that weren't part of my truth. When I was in that place, I got a text message about a house available on the river that's within my budget and that checks all my boxes. Easy to use fireplace, dog friendly, beautiful backyard, views, office space, bathtub. I mean, it checks off all of the boxes, and it just landed in my lap. I got a text message that said, hey, there's a house available. Do you want it? They want you. And so my goal for the new year, my intention for the new year, instead of saying, I want to hit $50,000 months, or I want a $250,000 a year, or I want 10 people in my container every single month, I want 3 new clients every month, none of that. None of that. The only thing that I am committing to in 2023 is daily ritual ceremony, prioritizing every single day gratitude, alignment with my chakras, appreciation for this present moment, for being a conduit, being a channel, being a vessel, and asking to be used. Doing some sort of movement, pulling some sort of cards, making a morning potion with love and intention, journaling, reading, meditating, stretching, moving my body every single day. That's the only thing I'm committing to in 2023. And it's an experiment. I don't know how it's going to turn out. All I know is that when I live that way, when I live in a place of being and taking care of me, and not from a place of doing, I always have to do more. When I live from that place, that's when magic happens. That's when the unreal opportunities land in my lap. That's when the space that I need to host circles and gatherings and dinners and concerts and events, that space opens up and I get the permission to do whatever I want in that space. From a place of me being, not from a place of me doing, hustling, offering, doing, but from alignment. And so this is my alignment experiment, 2023, no goals other than daily connection with source energy. becoming an open channel. I invite you on this journey with me. I'm so excited to share with you how it goes. When I first announced that I was going to be surrendering, I was like, this could all end very poorly. I was like, what am I getting myself into telling everyone that I'm willing to surrender to the universe, right? And then everything started getting ripped apart. And I was like, oh shit, hold on, here we go. And now, after seeing this manifest with so much ease, I'm in full belief, full knowing, full clarity and understanding, and trust. I trust. Thank you so much for listening to this. Thank you so much for being a part of my email list, for being a part of my community. If this resonated with you and you want to play along and do your own alignment or surrender experiment in 2023, please reply to my email and let me know. I love knowing that you guys resonate with this work and that maybe not setting a monetary or any sort of specific goal for 2023 also matches your vibe. And I want to keep up with you and what's going on in your alignment and surrender experiment. So don't be afraid to hit that reply button on my email or send me an email, hello@katiejohnita.com. I'll see you next time. Mwah.